This video is to give you a little bit more information about the JobKeeper package, which we can officially enrol for come Monday, April the 20th, so 3 days away. What you'll need to do is a little bit of back-end work to make sure that you're ready to enrol. This video is specifically going to be targeted at sole traders and also someone like myself who has a proprietary limited company, but I'm a director, not so much an employee of the company. So if you're a director, a partner, or a trustee within a proprietary limited company, then this video is for you. And also if you're a sole trader that you work off your ABN when you invoice, this video will also be for you. So first thing you need to do is make sure that you're registered with the ATO. All the links will be in the Instagram story feed, and if the feeds come down, then just head down to where it's got the business info, and you'll be able to rewatch my stories through there. So number one is make sure that you are registered with the ATO. So I'll set the link up for you. Number two, what you'll need to do is download the MyGov ID app. Now this is totally different to MyGov. Confusing, yes. I was trying to work all this out the other day, so it's not the easiest, but just think the MyGov ID app. There'll be a link for you in the stories. So you'll need to download that. What this app does, it basically verifies your identification for the government so that you can access the business portal, which you'll need to be able to access to enroll into the JobKeeper program. Okay, so going back, MyGov ID app, download it. You'll need your driver's license, passport, birth certificate, Medicare. Now you only need 2 of these, but if you do have all 4, it gives you a higher rating with your ID. So you'll have access to a couple of more things online. Okay, so now once you've done your MyGov ID app, you're verified. Now what you need to do is link your ABN. So, it's the same as for a sole trader for a business. You'll need to link your ABN with your digital identity. Now to do that, you need to go onto the government side, and it's the Relationships Authorization Manager, which they classify as RAM as an acronym. So it's the Relationship Authorization Manager. Now what you'll need to do is sign in with your MyGov ID app. Okay, so you have to do that step first. You can't skip through. So I'll send the link for the RAM into the story on a separate story. So you'll see that and you'll be able to click on that and it'll take you exactly where you need to go. Once you are inside the RAM, you click on log in with my MyGov ID, and then it'll come up with a few options, and you want to click on link my business or link your business, where it's one of the two. So you want to link that business. So when it'll come up with your ABN, and you'll click yes, and then that will attach to your personal identity. Now in order to do this, you need to fill out a couple of details. Now it's basically your name, which you've already done, and your address. Now what you need to remember, say for example you haven't done your tax in a couple of years, which some people in the freelance world, you just get a little bit behind on some of the business side of things, and that's totally fine. What you need to remember is the last time that you lodged a tax return, where was your address? So if you've moved house in the process and you put your new address in and you haven't lodged a tax return, then it will say nothing's valid. So put in an address where you've last lodged your tax return. So think about when you've potentially lodged your last tax return, and if you've moved, make sure you go back and do it that way, because otherwise it's not going to let you in, because it's verifying you all the way along. So once you've attached the ABN to your identity, you will then be able to access the business portal. So the business portal for the ATO is where you'll go in and you'll be able to see all different parts of what you've lodged previously with the ATO within your ABN or your business or whatever it might be. Now there's a little bit of information that we haven't been given yet. So for those of you who don't charge GST, there will be another way for you that they're working out. The details aren't quite clear yet, of how they're going to work out how they'll forecast for you as to what you'll need to do to prove basically how much money they're predicting that you'll earn into the future, or how much. So what they're doing with people who do charge GST, it's the basically the predicted GST, for what you've already done in the last quarter. They'll say, okay, on these invoices, you've charged this much GST. right? And now for March and April, you've charged nothing because most of our industry is not working at all, or whatever it might be, very little. So once you've shown that you've done the 30% or more drop in income, and there'll be different things that they're going to bring out by Monday for the different categories of business. So if you're under $75,000 a year, you're probably not charging GST yet. Okay, so there's a couple of different things, and look, they're building the legislation and they're creating things as we go. So come Monday, we'll have all of the information, and I'll do my best to share it with you. And this is all just from my understanding and what I've been trying to work out. And you're probably wondering where I am, because this isn't my 1-bedroom apartment, but I've actually had to drive 40 minutes into town to come and do this video, because a lot of people sort of sending me messages and I have very limited coverage out where I am, and the reason why I'm not in Sydney, I haven't tried to escape to my holiday house. My parents have a property, and Mum was really quite sick at Christmas, and they can't afford to have people come in and work on the property, so I've been up here for a few weeks helping them on the property, because I was in quarantine for a month and I'd been checked for COVID as well. So they couldn't employ anybody to come out, so I've been out there doing the work for them, and family love. So I've been working on their farm for a couple of weeks, and oh no, my hair looks washed today. So anyway, all the links will be in the stories for further information, and I'll just keep you updated as much as I can, and I hope this helps. So just try and get that back end ready. If you haven't lodged your tax return, or if all this is too much for you, go to your whoever you do your tax returns with and say, can you help me lodge what I need to lodge with the ATO, and they will be able to help you. The thing is, ask them how much they're going to charge, because at the moment we're not making any money, so it's really difficult to think, oh god, I've got to lodge tax returns for this year, tax returns for that year. Whoops. As you can see at the moment, I'm literally like balancing my laptop on the bonnet of my car trying to do this video. Fun times where I've got phone reception. Anyway, so they will be able to help you, most definitely, but at the same time you just need to be just make sure you're up to date as much as possible, and try and do any back end work that you need to do to get yourself up to date by the end of this weekend, and hopefully I'll have more information for you soon, and I do hope that this helps. All right, see ya.